Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you very much for coming today for your tarot read. I took a little day off there, but now we're back. And I did see in the comments we had another animal come forward. Also, I saw in the comments somebody was speaking about cats and dogs and birds. So we have done cats, we've done dogs, and we've done a few different kinds of birds. So feel free to put in the comments what specific type of bird it is, because I may have it in my deck and we might not have covered that one yet. But the lizard, I wanted to pull the lizard forward. Oddly enough, I do have that in my deck. And lizards represent regeneration. So it says, as a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on your new cloak. You are master of regeneration. So you might be going through a time right now where you are sort of going through that transformation, that regeneration, that rebirth, starting a new chapter of your life, or becoming sort of the next level of yourself and starting over. It says to embrace it. Absolutely embrace it. You can adapt to whatever comes your way, and you'll always find a way to move forward and to survive. It's a beautiful card to get, and I'm glad the lizard came to you the other day. What a great message the lizard brings forward too, guys. Let's go ahead and get started with your tarot read today. I'm getting told right off the bat tokens, so we are going to grab tokens. We'll see what comes forward with these guys. We usually do 3, and 3 actually popped into my hand right away. So let's see which ones came forward. The world coin popped out. The world tends to represent sometimes what goes around comes around, or a completion of a cycle, or maybe a new cycle beginning. It can also represent rewards from the universe for hard work. We'll put them aside and grab the next one. Temperance. Temperance is all about patience too, and balance. That's interesting. Temperance. And our third one is the Tower. I got told the word transformation when I looked at this coin and touched it. So I do believe we might be talking about transformation, which, I mean, really, towers do represent endings, but an ending is just a new beginning in disguise, guys. So that is transformation in itself. So let's go ahead and get started with your read here. That's interesting, because I want to know where those coins sort of fit into everything. So what deck are we working with today? We're getting pulled. I'm getting pulled over here with this one. So, Spirit, can you please clarify these coins, add to the story for the collective and the message that's coming forward? What does the collective need to know? What does the collective need to know today? What do they need to hear? You know what? Those guys just wanted to come out. These cards are really wanting to talk today. Those ones, that one. And actually, I'm getting told to take the one off the top, so that's what I'm going to do. So we got a nice big stack here. These cards are really wanting to talk. Interesting, taking your power back. Someone might be starting, this might be part of that new chapter, taking your power back, making decisions that are more for your higher good, and maybe letting go of some toxicity, not being afraid to speak your truth or to make choices that are just best for you. And so you're putting yourself in the forefront. Awakening, it is like that aha moment, right? That understanding that comes to you when you realize that maybe something you were doing wasn't contributing to the path that you were wanting to go in. I keep feeling like I get it now. I understand. Now I understand this awakening. It wasn't an aha moment for somebody. I think it was the beginning of somebody taking their power back. Is having this understanding of what was for their higher good. Shadow work. Okay, I will tell you what I feel in this card because I find it really interesting. It is speaking to a little bit of what's happening here and somebody being able to do their shadow work. And this awakening that led to someone taking their power back. Part of that does have to deal with sort of looking at yourself and looking deep within at some of those shadows and sorting through them. But I don't feel like the card is exclusively talking about that. I do feel like it's speaking to another energy who you were dealing with. This may actually tie into the Tower. The Tower might represent a couple different things in this read, that Tower coin. It might be speaking of sort of the other side of this. I feel like this card also belongs to somebody else, and it actually belongs to them more than it belongs to you. So somebody is either very deep in their shadows and has not done their shadow work, or somebody is really in need of doing that shadow work and that recognition. Eternal self. You know what? This is tied to awakening. This is part of your card. This is part of your third eye waking up. This is part of you looking deep within. I think this is part of your path of ascension, right? When you have sort of that aha moment and you start taking your power back. You really start ascending, and it changes the way that you look at things. I keep feeling like you see this in a new light, and this is speaking to another energy. So whoever, whatever this energy is you were dealing with, whoever that was, I feel like since you've gone through this, you look at them in a different light. So whatever happened between the two of you, I think you see their shadows now. Or some of what they did maybe makes a little bit more sense, because you're like, okay, they did this because of this, because they haven't dealt with shadows, because they still have all of this work that they need to do, and they're feeding into it instead of doing the work. And now I see, this was not my fault. I did not drive this in this direction. This was somebody and their baggage, and they took everything. They took the relationship, they took the situation, and they drove it in that direction. And nothing that I could have done would have made it any different, because I was only one half of this, and the other half was not contributing to light, it was contributing to darkness. Growth. See, it's like, yeah, I keep feeling your energy, but then like somebody's energy here. It's like you were trying to help this person grow, or you were trying to help a relationship or a situation grow into something. But part of that would have been their personal growth too, and hoping that they stepped up and they did the shadow work. It's like you were the one. You were the one who did the growing. You were the one who tried to help the growing and nurture the growing and nurture this individual into growing. You put in that work, but I keep feeling like it was you. You did the work. You did the work. This other energy was just kind of in shadow, kind of like low vibrational, not ready to sort through whatever their baggage was, and just sort of staying stagnant, choosing to stay stagnant. Self-care. Yeah, I think you gave too much of yourself throughout this process too. It's almost like, I don't want to say like you lost yourself within it, but you gave so much that it kind of depleted you. And like I said, you could have just kept giving, and nothing would have changed, because this other half of things that shadow work is representing, this other half was not looking to change. They were not at a place in their life where they were ready to make that transition, where they were ready to have that awakening and take their own power back in their life and to be able to start their path of ascension. They weren't ready for that. So you were just, it was like giving to a black hole. It was just going to keep taking and taking and taking for as long as you were willing to give. Now is a time for self-care for yourself. It's like building yourself back up, looking after yourself, sort of like, I don't want to say like retreat, but it's a little bit of hermit mode is what it feels like. Looking within, getting reflective, caring for yourself, not really taking in new energies or not really taking on new relationships. Sort of just, like I said, it's like that self-care or a time of me talks, just looking after you. New beginning. Yeah, this is a new beginning. This is a new chapter for you. And depending on what type of relationship this was, like if this was a lover relationship or a romantic relationship, you look at those types of relationships after this awakening in a completely new light. This is not something you're going to revisit again. And that's part of your awakening, and you're taking your power back, is whatever the lesson was to be learned here, which was most likely to not give so much of yourself that you lose yourself, to be able to nurture the right types of energies and maintain balance with that even give and take. I feel like that lesson has been learned. We're not going back to this way of being now. We're not going back to these types of relationships where we have, one partner who gives, you're the nurturing one, you're the one who gives and tries to help grow, and they're kind of like this black hole that just takes and takes and takes and gives nothing back. Like, this is a new chapter for you. You look at the world in a different way, you look at yourself in a different way, and you look at relationships in a different way since this has happened to you. And I see rebirth. It's funny because we kind of started the read talking about that lizard card. And the lizard card is all about regeneration, right? Lizards, regeneration, rebirth, starting fresh, transformation. It seems to be everything that's coming forward in this read too. It's kind of like it set the tone for the read. Rebirth. The same thing, starting over again. Starting over again, but you can see that card, somebody had to look within their heart, deep within, and do their shadow work. And that's exactly what you did. Redemption. It's funny because I feel your energy in this card, but I don't feel like redemption. I don't feel that word really applies. I keep feeling like you doing for yourself now. Looking after yourself. It is putting yourself first, but it's like not so much that you won't allow another energy in, but you're not going to allow another energy to take too much of yourself. You're not going to allow this cycle to repeat, is what I feel in this card. I've elevated, I've risen, I've learned my lesson, I've heightened my vibration, I've ascended another step, and I'm not going to repeat this cycle of the past. That lesson has been learned, that chapter has come to an end, and I'm ready to start a new chapter. Inspiration. This is interesting what I feel in this card too, because I could feel like kind of hermit mode and looking after yourself and giving to yourself now. But I also feel this inspired. Yeah, it's like not afraid to step into the world. Like just walking down the street, just going through life, just interacting with people. I don't feel like any of this stuff is really weighing on you as much as it used to. So you're moving through your healing process. This self-care time has been very good for you. Giving back to yourself, this hermit mode, it is filling up your cup. I can tell that with this inspiration card and the energy that comes off of it. Hermit mode is serving its purpose for you. Your cup is getting filled back up and you're starting to move on with your healing journey. Because it always starts off in feeling the sadness, feeling the disappointment, perhaps working your way through anger or working your way through resentment. It starts off with those really heavy emotions. There's no way to get past that. You have to allow yourself to feel that and move through it. And I feel like you've been able to do that. And as you do that, your cup fills up more. And you start to be able to release those more negative emotions and start embracing more positive emotions like optimism, self-esteem, all of those kinds of things. And I feel like you're moving into that now, getting more comfortable and more okay in your own skin, feeling more confident in your choices and your ability to make choices when it comes to, perhaps running into situations like a new relationship, whatever this situation was. And I do feel like it's some kind of a relationship because there was another energy involved. Trust. I tell you too, I don't feel necessarily trust of other people here. This is like trust of yourself. This is like trusting yourself to be able to handle, like I could feel in the inspiration card, any situation that comes your way with a new energy. Like not having to be like, God, I got to stay in hermit mode because I'm too afraid to allow another energy in, or I'm too afraid to take that risk again and maybe my heart will get broken. I don't feel like you feel that fear. I feel like you're starting to move through life now with confidence. So you're not afraid of maybe bumping into somebody new or starting up a conversation with somebody because you trust yourself to handle whatever comes your way, right? You're like, if that lizard card is really, if that is the one that set the tone for this read, then you're the lizard. You can regenerate. You can transform. You have that power. You're the master of that. So you don't have to fear what comes your way because you know that you'll survive. And you know that you'll be able to make the right choices for yourself, and you're not going to fall back into this loop because you've learned the lesson that was brought forward to you for your higher good. That's not something that's going to be repeated. A new dawn, a new dawn, new beginnings. Look at the beautiful colors in that card. I don't get any negative feelings off of that. And I see ascension in that. I get pulled back to awakening. I get pulled back to this. It's like thought, a thought and a perception. It's a higher way of being. It's a higher form of looking. Authenticity. And being true to yourself. It's part of the trust. It's part of you trusting yourself to handle whatever comes your way. But this is like recognizing too that you're a survivor. This is also like starting to really recognize all of the wonderful qualities about yourself. That your nurturing is a beautiful quality. Your nurturing ability and your willingness to give and to nurture is a blessing. It's a blessing. And it's up to you who you choose to bestow that blessing upon. And you're going to make damn sure that it's somebody who's earned it. You're not just giving that away anymore. That's not just a frivolous gift to be handing out, like making it rain, or you get a new car and you get a new car and pulling the Oprah. It's like, no. If if this person has proven themselves worthy, somebody new coming into your life has proven that they are worthy of this gift, then you will share it with them. But they have to show that they're worthy. You're not just giving this away anymore. You're not just giving your energy and your love and your time and your nurturing away anymore. It's got to be to somebody who's deserving. Letting go. Exactly. That's what I could feel like. It was almost like an energy shift from this growth and this self-care. By the time I moved over to inspiration and trust, it was like an energy shift has happened. So this is working your way through hermit mode and letting go. And it's like coming out the other side of it. Now we're ready to move out of hermit mode and into the next chapter, into something new. Not afraid of the future, not feeling like we have to stay sort of closed off into ourselves. Where are we going next here, Tarot? That's funny, I'm getting pulled back to that astrology deck that we used the other day, but only for a couple of cards, not for a big read, I don't think. So Spirit, can you please pull whatever cards need to come out? There we go, we had a couple pop forward here. Pisces, I believe in Capricorn, I use. See, you believe in yourself. You believe in your abilities, you believe in your intuition, you believe in your ability to tell the difference between somebody who is deserving and somebody who is still too deep in their shadow work and low vibrational to match you. And this is the thing that I keep getting from this whole process you've been through the healing and the letting go and the change of perception. I don't feel anger over here. I actually feel like compassion and pity for whoever this person is, because they're choosing to stay in a low vibrational way. This one from your past. It's like the anger isn't there anymore for whatever they put you through. You sort of look at them and you see them in a different light. Like this person just spends their day hurting within their own baggage. And there's some compassion there for that. There's no anger there anymore. It's really interesting, and that just proves your path of ascension. That just proves how far that you've come, that you're not hanging on to that anger against this person, and you're able to look at them and recognize that they're not some demon or Satan, that they're a human being who has a whole lot of baggage and a whole lot of growth to be doing. And they're choosing not to do it, and that sucks for them. That sucks. That's not a fun way to live. This Capricorn I use... This is like you're not afraid to use your intuition. You're not afraid. And here, you're not afraid to give as well. You're not afraid to give to other energies, but you are going to be choosy about who you give to. So you're not shutting yourself down. You're not blocking the world out. You've done your healing through hermit mode, and you're ready to move out the other side of that. You're having an easier time moving through life now. Feeling confidence. Feeling trust within yourself to handle what comes your way. To use your ability and to use your learning, this lesson that you've been through in your ascension for your higher good. We're going to set those guys down there. You may also be somebody who has a lot of Capricorn or a lot of Pisces in your chart, guys. Or that may tie into who you were dealing with too. We're going to grab a tarot deck now because I'm getting told the word tarot. So we're going to go back to one of those guys. So which tarot deck belongs to this read, please, Spirit? Oh, really? That's the one I'm getting pulled to. Okay. Gilded Tarot it is today. So, Spirit, can you please clarify this read and what the collective is going through, maybe what they've been through. So the Three of Swords is that heartbreak. It is the heartbreak and what you've been through and sorting through the emotions and perhaps separating from another energy. But I don't feel heaviness in this card. I feel healing. I feel healing. This is part of your healing journey. You're really coming through it. The Seven of Cups, choices and choosing wisely. I get lessons learned in here. I get a lot of different messages in here. I keep getting this lessons learned from this path that you've walked in, this ascension that you've gone through. I keep feeling a future vibe to this, like something that hasn't happened yet. So you will have new energies who enter your life in the future. And then you will put these lessons to use as to who you choose to give to. But I feel an openness in it too. So it's not shut down to opportunities that come in the future. But I do feel a choose wisely, like you're going to choose wisely when people come forward. You want to learn what they're all about, right? You want to know if there's somebody who's like you, who's open, who's ascended, who's dealt with their shadow work. Or if this is somebody who's still sort of stuck in the dark. and not willing to look beyond sort of where they're at and is sort of committed to staying stuck, right? Because you're not going to give to somebody who's committed to staying stuck. Yeah, absolutely. This was for your higher good, what you went through. I believe that everything happens for a reason. That is my belief. The people whose paths that we cross, the situations we find ourselves in, the opportunities that come our way, the things that don't work out, everything happens for a reason. There's lessons behind it. There's skills to be learned, information to be gained. So dealing with this person, whoever this was, and going through the situation actually was for your higher good, because you gain this ascension. You gain this better understanding of yourself, more trust and more confidence. And now you're not going to be giving so much that it hurts anymore. You recognize your beautiful nurturing qualities as a blessing to bestow on those who are worthy. So you're not going to just dish it out until you're having to go into this self-care mode again, because you've bled yourself dry. You're going to protect that now. And when you do choose wisely to give of those who you find deserving, there'll be people who give back. So it'll never get to the point where your cup is empty, because the other side will want to give as well. This was important for your higher good and for your future, and the energies that you come into contact with in the future, and the relationships that you build in the future. This actually sets you up for better relationships. Believe it or not, it's absolutely true. They said everything happens for a reason, and you may have come to this person to teach them a lesson as well. You may have been their opportunity to do some growing and to do some ascension and some shadow work of their own. But it's all about free will, right? So this person has chosen to stay in their darkness, and they're continuing to choose to stay in their darkness. The Seven of Wands, but you have these boundaries now that you are not going to allow other people to cross. And there's nothing wrong with being assertive, and there's nothing wrong with setting down these boundaries so that you don't get taken advantage of anymore. Justice. Justice is all about balance too, which is funny because we did get the Temperance coin in the beginning, and I kept feeling like a balance in that. I do feel like you're somebody who is very patient with this person too. With that Temperance coin, it does tend to speak to patience too. So I do feel like you put a lot of time and effort into being patient with this person and being nurturing before you just realized that things were never going to be balanced with this, and you needed to be able to find that balance within yourself. And I keep feeling in this card too, we're not settling for less than balanced anymore, right? Lesson learned, boundary set, and now balance is where it's at. Somebody has to prove that they're deserving of your gifts for you to be able to give those gifts. Somebody who's going to show you that they're going to give back. We have the Tower pop forward again. That's now the coin and the card coming forward in the Tower. It is transformation though. It isn't just a big dramatic crazy ending. It is transformation. An ending is just a beginning in disguise, and this is a new chapter of your life. Like this card, it is a new dawn. It's a new dawn for you, and a new chapter coming forward. Two of Pentacles, one in which you will be insisting on an even give and take, one in which you've found balance within yourself, and that's part of what sets the tone for your future relationships too, is you finding that balance within yourself, because for whatever reason you didn't quite have that before, and so things got unbalanced with other energies too. But you've been able to learn this lesson and find that for yourself, and that will, like I said, that's going to set the tone for the future. Seven of Swords. That Seven of Swords tends to be a sneaky energy. It tends to be like that strategy. Where do you sit, Seven of Swords? Where do you sit? I want to know where you sit in all of this. Five of Cups. Okay, so some of you may have whoever this shadow work was from the past trying to find their way back to you. As somebody who may be feeling very sorry for themselves. Like I said, and you know this now too, because you've been through all of this, and I feel like a completely different perception, and you look at them in a different way. This person is still in their darkness. This person's still in their darkness. I think this person would like to pull you back in, is the energy I keep getting. This person would like to bring you back into their lives. They haven't done their shadow work, so they're still in that darkness. I don't feel evil coming off of them, but here's the thing too. I don't feel like they recognize there's a problem either. It's like blind. It's like this energy is still blind to the fact that they have shadow work that has to get done, and there's darkness that has to get dealt with. And that they're negatively contributing to your life. I still don't see that they see that. I keep getting like a blindness. Like, I don't know what the problem was. I don't recognize the problem. I don't recognize my part in contributing to things. And that I've done something wrong. I don't feel like they understand that. They are very low vibrational. To choose to sort of stay in that way and to not challenge themselves, to look within and to maybe see that, okay, well, maybe I contributed to my own situation, the situation that I keep finding myself in. Wheel of Fortune. Where do you sit, Wheel of Fortune? Can you tell me more, please, Tarot, about this? This Seven of Swords, this Five of Cups, this Wheel of Fortune. Tell me, please, more about what's going on here. The Fool card. I think this person sees your personal growth. I don't know how they see it. I don't know if you guys are still in contact in some way, shape, or form, and they keep an eye on you through social media, or maybe joint acquaintances, like people you both know, friends or family. But I feel like they've seen you ascend and find your confidence, and they see you moving back out into the world, and they can see that your aura and your energy has changed. And they do feel drawn back into it. They would like to have you back in their life. Whoever this person is, they would like to have another go. But like I said, they're still blind. Even in the Fool card, I feel it. And I get a lot of different messages off of this Fool card, depending on what the read is. This one, I just feel like somebody is so utterly blind. Somebody's very childish and immature in their thinking. Somebody's not looking at the bigger picture here. Is low vibrational energy, but they see you turning your Wheel of Fortune. They see you moving into this beautiful, grounded and confident energy that the Queen of Pentacles is emanating. They see that and they can feel it, and they are drawn to it because it's something that they lack within themselves. So they're drawn to it like a moth to a flame, and they would like to have you in their life. But this is somebody, like I said, they still don't know how to properly contribute and give you what you need and deserve in a relationship because they haven't done the work, right? They haven't done the work. They haven't changed. They're still exactly where they are. So all they can give you is exactly what they gave you before too. The Seven of Pentacles. Okay, that's interesting. I got told reap what you sow. Like, I do believe in karma. I do believe the energy that we send out there, we get back in return. I do feel like part of their karmic lesson is to see you blossom and grow and to realize that they don't get to be a part of that. Because you, like I said, you guys came together for a reason. There was this specific lesson that you were supposed to learn for yourself. You were also an opportunity for them to change and to have a loving, nurturing partner and to step up and do some growing. They chose not to do that. And so now part of their karmic lesson and the lesson that comes forward to them is to watch this beautiful opportunity that they had with somebody who is so nurturing and so kind and so loving slip away from them. And to see it move on and move forward and perhaps start a life with somebody else. And it's like sort of a second chance for them to wake up and learn this lesson. I don't know if they'll take it. Like I said, this person, as far as I can see within all of these cards, is still pretty blind to the fact that they contributed in some way. They're still choosing to stay really blind. The Ace of Swords. It is truth. And it is victory. I keep feeling truth though. Truth more than anything. And it's tied to the Seven of Pentacles. Them seeing you grow and come into the beautiful Queen of Pentacles energy. That nurturing, that confidence. All of that you're moving forward and you really changing your energy and your aura. Is meant to teach them a lesson. See what you've lost. Because you couldn't pull your head out of your arse and deal with your baggage. So you pushed this beautiful opportunity away. Do you want to continue to push opportunities away and live in regret and stay by yourself? Or are you going to do the hard thing and start doing that shadow work and looking within and start growing up? I mean, that's the truth of it. That's the truth of it. You are meant to actually, you came to them to help them to heal and to grow. You're supposed to be that trigger. And there was the kinder opportunity when the two of you were together, where they could have done their growing and had the beautiful benefit of an awesome partner. But they chose to refuse that opportunity and refuse that call. So now they get the secondary lesson, which is regret because you didn't choose to grow up. So now it's supposed to be that sadness shakes them into some kind of personal growth and a lesson learned. Even give and take and balance. This is what I just keep seeing in the cards. This lesson is coming forward for this person. This lesson is supposed to happen. This is their karmic lesson. You took too much. You didn't give. You were greedy. You didn't have a balance here of give and take in your relationships. And somebody's not looking back or looking to revisit a relationship with you now. It's time to learn your lessons from the past and learn where you went wrong. And do that healing and do that shadow work so that you can step forward into a bright new future too. Because this person could have a bright future, a bright new future like you, and a new dawn and an awakening and a great chapter. But it's all about choice, right? They have to choose to do it. And I see in this card too, this Three of Wands, like the figure is looking forward. He is moving away from the past. But I keep getting told the word stuck and feeling stuck in this. Like we're not ready to move on to the future. And it's not your energy, it's their energy. So they're not ready to move on to the future. They're not ready to move past you and the emotions that they do have tied to you. So they did have genuine emotions and attachment to you. They did have a genuine caring. And they're not ready to move past that yet. And they're still feeling pulled back to you. They're not ready to leave it behind, but they're also not ready to face the lessons that you represent in their life. They're not willing to look at it. They don't want to face the darkness. I still see that they're very immature. This person may come back to you with an offering of love or relationship or whatever it is, but they are still in low vibrational energy. Like I said, they haven't changed. So they may come back with an offering of love or an offering of romance, wanting to get back together. But until they do the work like you did, all they have to offer is what they had to offer before. You'll never get anything more out of them until they do what they need to do. And and that's part of that the world coin too. Remember I said it was rewards from the universe for doing hard work. Right? If this person would have done the hard work and the shadow work and the growing when the two of you were together, then their awesome reward would have been to have you in their life still. But they chose not to do that and they chose to deny it. So instead they got the tower. And now they have the hurt that they have to deal with. Now they have the regret. Now they have the longing to have you back in their life. You chose to do the hard work. And because of that, your rewards are this confidence and this trust and this new dawn and this ascension and this beautiful way of looking at the world that will ensure that this cycle does not repeat in your life again. And that you won't have this low vibrational stuff. Yeah, Six of the Cups is blast from the past. I'm telling you, this person wants to come back to you. This person wants to make a move to come back to you. Here's the World the second time coming forward. I tell you what I just got told by my guides when I pulled this card. You get what you give, were the words that they told me. It's not your lesson. That's their lesson. You get what you give. They gave you, well, next to nothing, right? They really didn't give you much. You're the one who gave everything. So they shouldn't be surprised when they get nothing in return because they didn't put the hard work in. So you don't get to have the rewards. You don't get to have the loving partner if you take advantage of them and don't recognize them and give back to them the Two of Swords. They're still blind. Okay, they don't know why. They still don't understand. If they came back to you with a love offering and you try to and you shut them down like they would not know why. If you try to explain to them that they contributed to this themselves, I see like refusal to understand, refusal to admit, refusal to really look within and think about what you're saying, and to say, okay, maybe there's some weight to this and I should start looking at myself. We don't want to do that. I keep seeing that in their energy. Just want to stay blind. Everybody else is the problem. I didn't do anything wrong. Wanting to stay blind. That energy wants to stay blind. And I'll tell you too, this is not you. This is actually their energy coming forward in the Queen of Wands. I think that's really interesting that they're coming forward like this feminine energy with passion. I don't know if when they come back, it's going to be like with a bouquet of flowers and some chocolates, like try and play heavy on that romance, or try to seduce you or something like that to reel you back in. Because I feel like they're going to play on that either romantic or sort of sexual side of things to try and draw you back in. Instead of like sit down and have a real conversation with you, you know, like an adult conversation, and tell you about how they recognize everything that they did to screw everything up. You know, instead of getting real about stuff, that it's almost like relying on tricks to try and pull you back in. Instead of just being assertive and talking about what happened. That's what I keep feeling in this card, like it's like a subversive or a passive aggressive almost way of doing things to try and avoid the real issues and avoid talking about the real grown-up stuff and dealing with shadow work. It's just that lighter side to try and pull you in. And like I said, I keep feeling like it'll be something romantic or something sexual or both to try and pull you back into a relationship. The Three of Pentacles. Because they see you as a fruitful relationship. They see you as a fruitful partner, right? They do. I mean, let's face it, they absolutely benefited by having you in their life. They benefited by having you there by their side to contribute, to give, because you gave and gave and gave. It worked quite well for them. They definitely got the good end of that one. So they would like to have that back. They want to get back to that. That's what I feel in this Three of Pentacles cards. I want to get back to the way things were. That worked really well for me. I benefited from that. That made me happy. I had what I needed. That's what they're doing. They want to get back to that for themselves. And the Four of Pentacles is just you not having it. It's just you not having it. A lot of times he's called sort of the miser card. Sometimes he's a warning of greed. I don't get that in this read. What I get from this figure is your energy protecting your pentacles, your nurturing, your beautiful gifts and all your blessings that you have to give. And what I see in this figure's face is judging whether somebody is worthy or not. And I can feel this figure judging this one not worthy. You are not worthy of my beautiful gifts. You're not worthy of my bounty. You're not worthy of my blessings. You're not worthy of my talents and everything that I have to give. So I am choosing to keep them protected and to keep them to myself. Sorry, that's what I feel in the cards, guys. I feel like you're not having this. Like I said, you've learned the lesson and you have no intention of repeating this cycle again. It was not fun the first time. You have no intention of doing it a second time. The Four of Wands is what you want. You want something solid. You want somebody who will contribute to a solid foundation because that's what you're willing to do. So you need a partner who's willing to give in the same way that you're willing to give so that you can have that abundance. You can have that stability and solidity for the future. The Four of Wands. And if you can maintain this beautiful new dawn and this new way of thinking and this confidence and being choosy about like this authenticity card, who you give your blessings to, you will find that partner. And the Four of Wands, that stability and that building for the future and that abundance, that is what waits for you in your future. Because you're setting the groundwork for it by this beautiful change of heart, this energy shift that you've done and this ascension that you've done. The Four of Cups. It's like you're not going to give. I feel like not giving to immature energy. I feel real immature energy in this figure. This is somebody who's very selfish, who's very childlike, who just wants, like spoiled, like a spoiled child is what it feels like. That's the vibe that I keep getting, a spoiled child who just wants to be given everything and doesn't want to give anything in return. You're not playing that game again. That is not somebody who contributes to a Four of Wands. You will never get a Four of Wands with that person's attitude, because that person will always undermine the relationship. The Lover's card. Yeah, see, and this is what I was feeling in the Queen of Wands too, that this person kind of relies on sex and like that kind of passion and keeping things sort of physical because they really don't have much more to give. Until they do their shadow work, it isn't there. It's like expecting them to give you something that they don't even have. At this point, they don't have it to give. Until they do what they need to do, it won't exist. That higher form of commitment, that higher form of connection, it doesn't exist. The ability does not exist for this person. The King of Wands, the Queen of Swords, yeah, and the Death card. They're coming forward in that fire energy, that passion energy, because even in this I feel kind of the same of the Queen of Wands, but I feel more reaction in this. So I feel like this is the softer way of trying to like wind their way back into your life, kind of like smoothly kind of flow back in. And I feel like shut down from this Queen of Swords, like shutting it down, right? We know what the truth is. We're cutting down the lies. We're cutting down the BS. We're cutting down the shadow work with our sword. We're not getting pulled into garbage. We recognize this for what it is. And then I can feel, I tell you, I feel anger and resentment. I mean, look at the way he's looking at the Queen of Swords. Look, he's like giving her raging stink eye. Because he doesn't like getting called on his shit. He doesn't like getting confronted. This energy does not like it. And that's when it gets into more of that masculine energy. So it gets a little bit more aggressive. It gets a little bit more pissed off. I'm telling you, this person is choosing to stay blind to everything that happened from their side in the past. They're choosing to stay blind to what the real reasons were. They're choosing to stay blind to how their choices and their behavior contributed. And they want to keep it that way, right? This worked for me. I enjoyed this. Like the Three of Pentacles, I want to get back to this because I benefited from it. So I want it back. I want my happiness back. It's not your happiness or that partnership happiness, that fruitful partnership. It's their happiness. It's their pentacles. They want to get back to their pentacles. So they're pissed off when they get confronted with the truth. But you are like this Queen of Swords energy too. You see through the BS and you see what the truth is. And you're not going to let a little bit of romance or fluff distract you from what the real truth is. Because you've ascended beyond that now. That is not something that's going to get you. It's not something you're going to get duped into. And they sure don't like that. This one does not like getting confronted with what the truth is. But the truth is the truth, and you're not putting up with crap anymore. And you're not going to settle for less either. This chapter for you has absolutely come to an end. With whoever this energy is, that piece of things is over. Like I said, I don't feel a whole lot of anger towards this person. I feel like you see them as a human being now. And you can see that they have baggage that they're denying. And it's just kind of like feeling sorry for them for choosing not to deal with their shadows and staying stuck in that. So I don't feel like there's like really hard feelings or you wish them ill will or anything like that. But this is not something you're going to revisit again. Absolutely not. This chapter has come to an end. You've done your healing work. You've done your ascension and you're learning from it. You found the benefit that you could from being in this situation so that you could move forward and have a happier future. It served its purpose. It's done. So for you, there is no going back. And for you, you're not buying back into whatever this person is trying to sell you because you found your self-worth and you found your self-value and you're not getting back into it. You won't settle for less. I can feel that in the cards. You won't settle for less. So this person coming back to you with their low vibrational energy, trying to win you back over with these romantic or sexual gestures is not enough for you because you're higher vibrational than that. You're more ascended and mature than that. and you require a deeper, more mature connection than that. That is not enough for you. You believe in yourself. You believe in your ability to make the choices that you need to make. You believe in your ability to see through BS and to see what the truth is in a situation and to speak your own truth. You now, this Capricorn I use, you have no problem speaking your truth and saying the way that it is. Like I said, this one don't like it, but tough. That's the situation that they created. And I do believe from what I can see in the cards, this is part of their karma. Is having to realize that they lost you forever. That chance is not coming back. And it's to shake them into figuring their crap out. Now, as to whether they do that or not, like I said, everything in the cards at this moment tells me that this person would like to just stay blind to their shadow work. They don't want to do it. They don't want to ascend. They don't want to da-da-da-da-da-da. Maybe somewhere a long time down the road they'll figure it out. Maybe a short time down the road. But in this situation, in this like immediate, what I can feel, they do not want to do that. And these two energies, the paths are separate now. And that's the way it's going to stay. You're not going back to this. That's their journey to take now. That's their path of ascension to choose or not to choose. But that has nothing to do with you anymore because you're moving on to a bigger and a better future. Absolutely. That lizard card kind of set the tone for the read, guys. That regeneration, that rebirth, that trust that you are the master of being able to survive and to regenerate and to grow and evolve. Absolutely. I really did set the tone. What a beautiful read, guys. Have a great rest of your day.